Welcome to Washington East to West Sports. This is episode 158. I am Matt Beatty, joined alongside, as usual, by Sean Beatty and Kevin Ardolph. If you don't get involved in the show, go ahead and blue sky at us. I'm a Master B. Sean's at Nasty Billy 22. Kevin is at Emerald Bowler on X. Sean is at Nasty Billy 22. Kevin is C to believe, SEA to believe. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Tell us what you think of the topics we talk about in the comments below. Gentlemen, let's talk about some Seahawks football. They played another team. Not real football. That's preseason football, but they played another team. They lost to the Dallas Cowboys on Saturday in their first preseason game in Seattle, 17-7. Stats don't really make too much of a difference in this. I'm not going to read any of those off, but I'm going to go to Kevin first because I read a fiery tweet of his during the game. So, Kevin, what did you think of the Seahawks on Saturday? Oh, you want me to bring it up?
No, I'll just look at it here real quick. Um, I mean, yeah, it wasn't great, so let's be real. Um, Season, so like all in all, it doesn't matter, especially done. Really. Um, yeah. Oh wait, oh it was on. Sorry, it was a blue sky.
Yeah, Blue Sky. Sorry, I don't have Twitter, but yeah.
Because I was like, but I was like, wait, what did that? Uh,
Just that Matt just read it for him.
Yeah, yeah, I'll read it for him here.
oh, yeah, oh, yeah, I know. I can read it if you want me to. But Fleur his micro penis kicked in for that awful play calling. That's some Pete Carroll zero IQ looking BS right there. Yeah, I don't want to see that effing ignorant again, which was essentially just powers one at the goal line three times and just terrible block. I'm like, you can see that your blocking is terrible. Like, sure, I guess the point of it is to try your second to like block better, but like when the yeah, it's probably maybe I want to mix up a little bit, but like this, like pretty much it was very similar, identical like plays from they went to the outside and then just went like power over the guard and then power kind of over the guard slash like I couldn't even tell because it got blown up in the backfield. And I'm like, what are we doing here? I'm like, we can't pass the ball. I get it's like that like things in the end zone. I'm like, that doesn't look great. Like, that just looks Pete Carroll. And yes, sure, that's for using a type along that line, but the run game didn't look great. One, you're having backups, back, uh, that's we're kind of saying like, Ace and Charbonnet are your guys. Like that's it. Look, let's be real. Now, would would Halani and Venus or whatever
Bayless.
name get better behind the line? Or, but like they're not going to be like I mean if watched Hard Knocks, um, yeah, Price just like literally with oh what's his name the D tackle was like I could he's like bye um like his feet are is insane but um some good things on like defense had some plays um a couple other people stood out I can't think of at the time because I'm so depressed about Mariners which we'll get into in a little bit um overall offensively we didn't look great. I'm gonna say a lot of people really got on our third game. Right, it's long. Um, what's our third string quarterback's name?
Milrow.
Jalen Milrow.
Miller, that's it. Yeah. That Miller looked great, which I agree. Um, he, I mean, he didn't look awful, but it just looked like not good decision making on for the most part. To iterate kind of like what Mike Robb was saying. There's times where you got to learn to use your legs, and then just some of it was play calling too. Like the reads that they set up for him weren't the greatest either. Um, when I was kind of looking back at it. Uh, and honestly, it's like other than the guy that touched, people were catching gosh. So we were a little bit more run heavy this game. I like a little less. That. I mean, yeah, I get it because you're running Drew and you're running, what's his face, but like you can't you can't, especially since when you with how Sam Darnold was so good last year, just mock that Drew Lock and them are your Sam Darnold. Like you want to run essentially near the same style of what type of offense that you're going to be doing versus like we're going to run 70% per time in the preseason, and now we're going to throw the ball 70% of the time in the regular season. No, that's stupid. It makes no sense. Like practice what you're going to try to do. I mean, of course you want to give away all your stuff, but like that'd be silly. Be like we're gonna pretend like we're doing option A the entire time, and then we're actually doing option B. Like no, like that just shows just lack of knowing what a OC. So maybe he was trying new stuff. I don't know his mindset behind it. I'm just playing the guessing game here, but it just didn't look pretty. Um, Defensively, sure could have been a little bit better. We could have cleaned up penalties. Were great all around. Um, and uh, yeah, hopefully. And it sounds like Mike McDonald wasn't happy. Hence, and they're having full practice tomorrow instead of walkthrough. Mike McDonald's got to have. Uh, and we'll probably see tonight. I don't know. So, uh, yeah. Overall, I mean, like I said, season like most of those guys aren't even going to play. They're going to be sitting on a bench. So it's like it was more like so I can really and it
All right, let's Kevin, let's have you restart your computer.
I think I caught
Um,
75% of that. I think I
yeah,
caught
let's have
most
you
of it. Most of
restart your computer. We'll talk. By the time you restart, we'll be ready for you back again. How about that?
it. Sean, did you watch the game?
I did.
And
Um, no, but Kevin, you should really restart your computer. That was not yeah, that was
yeah, it
and
was
then
it was
come
pretty it
back.
was pretty laggy. I think we caught about three
Yeah,
quarters of it.
yeah.
I
But I would say I don't really care a lot about what the play calling was. Obviously, they want to win the game, but they want to work on certain things. They're not trying to win the game. I don't want them to go all out to try to win the game. I want them to run certain things, implement certain things. I don't. We still don't know what kind of offense we're going to call. I feel like Milrow did look awful. That's what people need to also realize. Like, it doesn't matter what you call. Drew Lock and Milrow just aren't good at football. At least right now for Milrow. But like, you're already in year two. I would have liked to see a little bit more, but who knows? But the whole adage of like letting quarterbacks simmer and learn a little bit also is a fallacy. It's not true, but people just don't get good because you sit. That doesn't happen. You have to be good at football. And I don't know if Milrow is always a project. Projects don't always succeed, and people need to understand that. And so everyone's saying, "Oh, draft Milrow in the third round," and then it happens. I'm not writing off his career yet, but like odds are wasn't going to work. So you hope Sam Darnold works out. I would say other than that, yeah, the O line it didn't look good, and that's kind of the point I made in the offseason when we drafted Price. It's Run O lines mean more than running backs, and if you don't have a good O line, doesn't matter what your back does. Look at Ashton Genty, case one. Doesn't matter how good you are if you have no O line. Saquon Barkley, case two. Didn't do anything for the Giants, so didn't matter at all. So you need to have a line. You need to have something else other than the running back because it will not work. Period. It has been proven time and time again. And that my issues, the issue is going to be how far this team can go is depending on the O line. And then actually probably another option other than JSN showing up. But that's always going to be it was always going to be the issue. How we mitigate the weakness in the O line. One preseason game, we don't know. I wouldn't look too much into it. I don't care, but it was basically healthy. Don't really care on defense. To be honest, I had actually heard of just little bit of chatter about the Brown guy. What was his name? It's C Brown. What was his name? Do you remember the guy who got 2 touchdowns?
Oh, on the
Cowboys.
Camden Brown.
Yes, there's been a lot of chatter about him before the game. So it might be one of those classic, like we ran into a third and second stringer who is not a third and second stringer because, like, the classic Russell Wilson from when he was playing with the threes in the first preseason game. And it was torching everybody. And everyone's, oh my God, our team looks awful. Well, it turns out the guy against you on the other side shouldn't have been against the threes, was a starter. I thinking it's more of that situation. I think Brown is an NFL starter. I think he's got a lot of people hyped up for him, what he can do, and he made a lot of plays. He made that catch, that one-handed catch in the end zone. That was legit. That there was no doubt about it. I don't know if you saw it, Matt. He made a
I,
one-handed
I
catch.
saw it later.
It was legit. That is a what are you gonna do kind of thing. And it's just like, man, he made two things work, and I really liked what he did. So I was like, wow, they're just kind of like that guy stood out. I was like, that guy's better than everybody else in the field right now. And that's not a knock on the Seahawks third stringers or third stringers. It just means that guy's probably not a third stringer. Um, what I would say is Bo Stevens, Kevin's boy, did some really nice things and then did some awful things. So, but he's a rookie, so in the first preseason game at guard, I don't think he's going to supplant Anthony Bradford anytime soon. But there was some nice things he did, and then there were some awful things. But again, rookie. I liked not Ryan Mills, the other end. Oh shoot, I should have had his name up ready to go. I think the best player on the defense was, dang it, where is he? Where is he? Now I can't find him. Of course, Mike Morris. Mike Morris was the best player on the defense. He was awesome. Looked really good. That D line is going to be nasty. Linebacker looked fine. Linebackers looked fine. Everyone was freaking out about Therese Knight, but he was also out of position a couple times. But all in all, I think the defense for what they were didn't play too bad. Uh, I think they're going to be in the right spot. I think the offense is going to be a work in progress. It's going to be the whole way the whole season. They're going to go as far as that offense allows them to go. The defense isn't going to be able to drag them. It's going to have to be the offense is going to show up when it matters, and can they do it again? So it's one preseason game. No one was hurt. That's all that really matters. We know who the starters are. So don't get hurt, Sam Darnold's what I'll say, I guess, after this game, though.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. It's a reasonable take.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch the game other than the first drive. It was my brother-in-law's wedding, so I was able to watch the first drive because we went back to the hotel room for a bit, and my wife needed to change before we went to dinner, and I was able to watch the opening kickoff and the opening drive, and looked solid on the opening drive, but it looks like that was the only solid thing they did all game. So, uh, you know, I think both of you have said it. It's preseason. I don't really take too much away from it. It's really trying to see who's going to make the team and who might be a practice squad potential. So I don't really take too much away from it. It's more of giving guys an opportunity to play who, are trying to put stuff on tape and maybe get a job elsewhere or see if they can crack a roster somewhere else. I saw the Camden Brown catches, like, that's pretty cool. It's just a shame he has CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens in front of him, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't expect much from Drew or Jalen Milrow. That's why they're backups. They're this is their time to get some reps and try and get some things figured out for themselves because if they ever are called upon to do something, hopefully they can at least keep the ship moving a little bit. That's all I really want. So, I thought the offense, the one drive I saw was solid. I've heard a lot of buzz of Montorie Foster Jr. in camp. I don't really, it's hard for me to see a path for him to make the roster. I just think there are just too many guys in that wide receiver room who are probably going to get an opportunity before him. But you
Well,
never
my
know.
question is who's in. Okay, you
But
got the big
well,
three.
here's the thing. Yeah, you've got Rashid Shaheed, JSN, Cooper Cup, and then
Yeah,
you know then it kind of comes to like who
they
do they
like
like in
Horton.
camp?
They like Horton,
They like Horton. He was they want to give him a shot this year.
but I think that's it.
I think they'll probably keep five. I think they would keep five. And
Yeah,
so
no, that's what I'm saying. Like
and well
Foster,
then it's either Bobo or Foster, I think, at that point.
Bobo.
So
As much as people like and joke more Bobo, let's be real about this. You know what I
I
mean? Like,
well yeah, it's like do you give Bobo a chance or sorry, do you give Bobo the job just because he's been there? He was there on the team last year. They won the Super Bowl. He had some really big plays. And does that carry him onto the roster, or do you give the younger guy a
he had
shot and just see what
he had four
happens?
catches all year. I don't know about big plays, but he had one.
He did.
So
He
he had
did.
one, but like he had four
Pretty
catches all
important.
year. I
Yeah.
don't know about big plays.
That was
Like
a big play. Pretty big.
okay, but
Big
like
moment.
he had four catches. So I'm just saying, like you could afford to get rid of the guy who caught four balls. I'm just saying it's not like the world is like going to burn down if you do that. So I
I,
think the more Bobo
I,
is more of a meme than anything at this point.
it's hard for me to, you know, really say which way they'll go. They signed Bobo to a small contract, so it's not like he's like
That's I forgot
absolute
about that. They did.
absolutely gonna make the team necessarily because they did with Marquez Valdes-Scantling last year, and then he was cut. So that doesn't mean you're gonna make the team, but in
I forgot he
I
signed.
would say kind of, history, they generally go with the guy who's got the experience over the young guy, but there are times
I
where,
think it's going to come down to who they. I think
Jake
it's going to
Bobo
come down
is
to who they.
that one of those guys who got a shot and made the most of it
I think
after
it's going
it.
to come down
So,
to special teams, like because that's the spot you're going to play at special teams as the fifth wide receiver. If who do they think can hack it at that fifth spot? Who can hack it on special
I
teams the
mean,
best?
I've never really, I don't think I've really seen Bobo on special teams. Like,
Their punting is so good that you just don't have to tackle. You're the gunner or whatever. So like if you have the best punter in the league and you're pinning them down, it doesn't really. You're not supposed to notice them. You know what I mean? Like unless there's like some fumble or something like that. The best thing it's like the O line. If you don't have to, then no one talks
well,
about you. That's the best thing.
here's the thing. I mean, the Seahawks special teams did make a difference last year, so the special teams does matter. And I
It
never saw
does, but
Bobo
like that.
really
But
play on special teams much, so maybe they would give Foster a shot because he would be playing special teams and make his mark that way.
well, he does. But like what I'm saying is, it's like you're not seeing Bobo's name because Dixon is so good. If
Well, yeah, I
Dix,
mean, yeah.
if the field position of Dixon isn't good, because the only time you're ever going to remember a guy on special teams for the Seahawks kicking it is if they're returning the ball. And Dixon's job is don't return the ball. And so if Dixon's doing his job, you will not hear about the Gunners. And that's why it's not that Bobo was bad. It's that because Dixon was so good that you're never going to hear about him. You're not going to hear about Bobo.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, true, but it's also like he's not going to return kicks because you've got Shaheed and or Horton probably, and
Well,
so
neither Mars. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be like
so
who
is
covers
he
the
a
punts the best.
kick off like cover guy? That's the thing, and then it's like, do you really keep him because of that? So it's hard to say. Kevin's finally back, looking good. We're talking about Kevin. You want to weigh in on Montori Foster? Um, do you think this guy makes a team? I've been hearing buzz in camp. Do you think he's able to crack the roster as a
We're
wide
talking about
receiver?
him versus Bobo because that's probably what it's going to come down to.
Bobo.
Why Bobo?
Bobo's just he was the best wide receiver blocker in the NFL last year. And that's just crucial not only in the passing game but in special teams. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, he had like an okay game, but like, how many pass receivers have we've had over like since the Pete Carroll era that have done that and that we've kept that do nothing? Like, unless he like goes absolute bananas, and I mean BANANAS, like in the next two games, then you can maybe consider it. But
It's going to come down to special teams. Who's more
yes,
valuable in special teams?
and at the moment, Jake Bobo is.
I
So
think Kevin does bring up a valid point of blocking because obviously he's not going to be returning kicks, so he's going to be trying to tackle guys on actual like punt
Yeah, but
coverage,
I think
or he's
Kevin's
going to be
referring to
blocking on
on
the
like
outside.
on offense, but like I'm not keeping a guy because he blocks. I want a guy who can catch the pass if he's required to. And I guess Bobo did catch the one ball that really mattered last year.
Yeah,
But
and so if both of them can catch, then who does the other things better? That's probably
but
what
that's
it'll
the
come
thing
down
that they
to.
probably don't catch the same. They probably one is probably better. The question is, does it outweigh if the other one is better?
So
We don't know how.
are you saying Foster is better at it than Bobo?
I don't know who's better at kicking because I
No, no,
didn't watch.
catching.
Oh, I honestly would probably lean Bobo, not because I think he's better. It's because we have so many 5'11 guys. We need a big body in the room. Like Horton is, but Horton, has been so unhealthy that other than that, you have Foster Moreau's like what 5'11. How tall is JSN?
I don't know.
6 feet tall. Rashid Shaheed 6 feet tall. How tall is Cooper Kupp? 6'1". That's a tiny wide receiver room. You don't have any height. If you cut Bobo, like man, you are really relying on Horton playing for you. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have a lot of two tight end sets, so that's your height.
Yeah,
But still,
it's
like
your Arroyo,
you
your
would like
Barnes.
some height in the wide receiver room, right? Like, and if you cut Bobo, there isn't really, other than one guy who
Height
hits
would
for
be
all.
great, but catch the ball is the main
I guess
thing.
Corey Horton's only 6'2", which is crazy. He's our tall guy at 6'2", but like, yeah, Bobo being 6'4" is like it brings you some size to that wide receiver room, which is like I like that just for like the difference of like bodies in there because they're asked to do different things. Like he's the only one that weighs over 200 pounds. I guess Cooper Cup barely does, but like, man, you can get a guy over 200 pounds. That'd be great. Get some size on you. But
All right, well, let's talk about the
I think it's
news
gonna come down to
right
special teams.
before the game happened. Seahawks and Devin Witherspoon reached an extension, 4 years, $132 million with $101 million in guaranteed money. Makes him the highest paid cornerback in NFL history. Uh, we all kind of thought this was coming, so it's good to finally have it done, I think. If anybody's watched, I mean, I think we've all watched Hard Knocks here. I remember in the first episode, Spoon was like, I'm just going to kind of do my thing and let the contract stuff work itself out, and that's exactly what happened. So, it's good to see him get paid, and it's good to not have this kind of be a continuing situation lingering over the team. Because that's what it would have been had they just let it kind of go. It's what it would be like, Spoon's trying to prove a point, or go off in free agency so it's good to have this done and you know, buy your JSN and Witherspoon jerseys because it sounds like they'll be here for a while.
Oh,
Sean, what do you think of the deal?
I mean, in an ideal world, I would like to give him less, but obviously he was going to get what he's going to get. So, making the highest paid is what was going to be. We all kind of figured that. Um, yeah, keep him here. He can basically be cut at no cost in 2031 if we need to for some unforeseeable reason.
Let's make it to 2030 first, and then we'll talk about that, I think.
But that's what I'm saying. Like based on, I mean, you could even cut it then and only have a small fraction of this left over. So, um, yeah, it was always going to be this way. It was always going to be the highest corner. I think it's smart to get him in before Gonzalez gets his deal because it'll be that way as well. Gonzalez will get more after. That's what you wanted to get one of the three. Who was the other corner to sign? I can't remember, but there was
the
three.
Texans corner, I think.
Yeah, Stingley. There was three, and they're all going to get paid. And I didn't want to be the last one because the last one's going to get the most, and so you release for the second. So, and he got paid, and he's well worth it. So there's top four corners. He's one of the top four um, in the league. So huge. So yeah, just lock him up. I have no qualms about it. Again, ideal, perfect world. Absolutely would have liked to spend less, but this is what it was going to cost. That you pay the top corner, and it's a hugely valuable position. So I don't care at all how much you give him. Really, I mean, obviously there's a limit, but I just like he's going to get 31 plus, and he got 33. So that's fine with me.
Kevin, what'd you think?
Yeah, like I said, it's we knew it. He knew it'd get done, and it did. It and like yeah, I wasn't surprised. I knew he was going to be essentially the top pick corner. Um, and to Sean's degree, also, I agree that I was glad they did it before Gonzalez, because it just saves the team more money. I was kind of where I was kind of more worried since we have new ownership. I was kind of be like, are they going to, see like how stingy they be? But they opened up the paycheck for him, so that's kind of good to see that they're willing to pay their guys what it is.
NFL usually have a problem like paying guys. All
Yeah.
teams spend money in the NFL.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's just some owners are weirder on that type of stuff than others.
There are cheaper
So,
owners in general, but yeah,
yeah.
NFL usually doesn't have to worry about people hoarding and not trying to win.
And not to say like this is going to essentially like establish like what our new owners are going to be like, but like it's a good start, I guess you could say, to the relationship with I totally even forgot their name. But
let's hope we never hear about him honestly again. So
yeah,
because that's
I'm not really sure how much ownership played in this, to be honest with you. Like,
I mean,
but
they have to sign off on it technically.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, but I don't know if it was more than like, can we do this? Cool. Like, I don't.
I think
Right.
that's what happens with most. I think
Yeah.
that's what happens with most deals. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Or
I mean,
we're
I'm
doing
happy,
this. Can you sign the paycheck? And they're like, yeah.
and it's good too because like now like Spoon's gonna be happy going into the season, and hopefully it just makes him play better.
Seahawks have 3 people highest paid at their position. We're in 3 positions.
it is wide receiver,
Yep.
cornerback, and
We've already mentioned him this podcast.
it's
Do you know Kevin?
Well, I was gone during it. I'm gonna guess
did I mention him?
line. It's not.
I mentioned
It's not Hall, is it?
It's
No.
Big Dick Dixon.
Big.
Oh yeah,
Pun-
that's right.
Highest paid punter in
I
football.
forget
Yeah.
about the punter.
I mentioned him already. See?
I
Can't
know.
forget about-
I know.
Punters are people too.
I
They are
wasn't
people.
here for it. Okay, I was restoring my computer, but yeah, no. But overall, like I said, I'm happy for him. You guys, money. We have a top corner now, like locked for the next 4 years, essentially. Like I said, you can cut him if for some weird reason he cow rallies, but yeah. So
We have our 3 pillars. We have our 3 highest paid guys, and those are our key guys that are going to take us forward into another Super Bowl. All right, let's talk a little bit before we get to a break here about the controversial news since we were last on. The Seahawks are still planning to sign cornerback Terrion Arnold. He's 23, facing 8 felony charges stemming from a kidnapping and robbery in Tampa, Florida in February. Arrested in Hillsborough County in June after trading himself in and was released following week by the Lions, who drafted him in the first round in 2024. I went first. Kevin went first. Sean, what do you think of this signing?
Not a huge fan. Okay. So let's get some things out of the way first. I have seen I did not do any research, just from being on the internet. This was happened. It sounds like the evidence to convict him is very flimsy. Sounds like he will sign. He will be convicted. He will be exonerated. Now, I don't think you get 5 felony counts by being a great dude and being in great positions.
8.
Probably 8.
8.
I don't think you get that many by like just being a model citizen and going to church all the time and hanging out like Russell Wilson does. So I think he's probably not a great dude off the field, regardless of what happens with these 8 felony accounts. So I don't like it just because of that whole thing. I don't like signing not great dudes. I think best case scenario is he's exonerated, but like even then, what kind of man are you bringing in here? Who best case scenario is at the wrong place, wrong time. Best case, surrounding himself with incorrect people. That's the best case scenario. So maybe it's a change of scenery he needs to do to fix his life, but they did ask the other players in the locker room about him. So at least the players signed off. They didn't just like go over their heads and just bring somebody in without talking to other players, but not a big fan. Not a big fan. Player-wise, he's an upgrade for sure as a player, but like probably not a very good person. Just going to throw that out there.
Kevin, what do you think?
I'm honestly okay with it. For a couple of reasons. I'll kind of go into that. One, yes, he is upgraded. And I think Mike McDonald's going to bring more out of him than what they were able to in. He's going to play more to his strengths in Seattle, and they'll use him in key. He's essentially better in zone than he is on one-on-one. Okay, so he's more. From what it sounds like, from what everything I kind of gathered, it sounds like he's more of an idiot then like so essentially his Airbnb got robbed. And then instead of taking manner, instead of letting the police investigate it, he kind of heard through people that they found out who did it. And then they, instead of like letting the police go and like arrest the people and investigate it, they just took stuff in their own hands and like pistol whipped a dude, and like was like, "Where's my money?" Type of stuff. And then come to find out, like after the police did investigations, the guy that they pistol whipped was actually not even involved in the robbery. Um, so it sounds like he's kind of like an idiot when it comes to
That's
like,
also not a good thing. People.
oh yeah,
It's not an,
saying
not an
it
endorsement.
is.
That's what I said. He's not a good person, probably. Yeah.
It's more of like he's just stupid when it comes to that type of stuff versus like evil-ish. I mean, either way, it's not good. Don't get me wrong. All I care, I mean, we have a sense as a, I mean, we've done it since Pete Carroll's, where we have brought in people with, I mean, shit, Marshawn had a DUI for God's sake. I mean, it's not pistol whipping a dude, but still a DUI is not great. We've had multiple DUIs.
7 felony counts.
Uh,
You
eight,
don't accidentally
eight,
get 7 felonies.
eight felony
Sorry.
count.
Yeah, 8.
You don't accidentally fall into 8. You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Let's take a
Yeah.
quick pause. We're running out of time here. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on Washington East West Sports. Welcome back to Washington East to West Sports. Thank you so much to our sponsors, our advertisers. If you want to be a sponsor or advertiser, go ahead and email us, WashingtonEastWestSports@gmail.com. Go ahead and follow us on Blue Sky. I'm at Master B. Sean's at NastBilly22. Kevin is Emerald Bowler on X. Sean is NastBilly22. Kevin is C to Believe, SEA to Believe. Subscribe to us, like this video, tell us what you think of the topics we talked about in the comments below. We were in the midst of discussing Terry and Arnold. Kevin, did you finish up your thought? Go ahead and
Oh,
continue.
yeah, essentially kind of to like recap. Not a good dude. Seems kind of stupid. Skilled as a football player. And like I said, I think Mac McDonald is gonna like open up that potential even more. And honestly, he'll probably go on the commissioner's list, so I don't think it's gonna be like much against the Seahawks to where like if he is convicted, like it won't be no sweat toward us. And even if we do like sign him, it sounds like it's a 1 year deal, and it's probably going to be like a you behave or you get nothing, and then you still also have to play well kind of deal. So like we get a good player for super, super, super cheap, which is what helps win championships.
Yeah, it's interesting because you watch Hard Knocks, and when they were talking about it, they're like, trying to chase edges, and looking at the number 3 cornerback position behind obviously Witherspoon and Josh Jobe. You've got Noah, God, I don't know how to say his last name, Igbinogi, Nehemiah Pritchett. They drafted Julian Neal. They also had Trayvon Diggs in for a workout
please not
today.
that one.
Today, I
Yeah.
think. So they are really trying to find that third guy. Um, it's interesting because I think he makes the team better, and obviously in our society, in our culture today, there's a lot of need to separate the art from the artist a lot, because there's a lot of people who produce things that are like good songs or good art and are not the best people. So on one hand, I don't like the person coming in, but on the other hand, he would make this team better, I would think. So, as Kevin said, he's gonna, I mean, it's likely he's gonna have on the commissioner's list anyway. So who knows when he might actually play, pending all of his legal issues. And the Seahawks have a culture where I think he would hopefully not reoffend, and I think if he reoffended, it would be gone immediately. So it's a thing of like, I guess, people deserve second chances. 8 felony charges is hard to, forgive. Um, but I think this is like he had workouts with other teams and he was looking for a second chance. And I think someone would have given it to him had the Seahawks not. So
I mean, he wanted to come here because obviously they won the Super Bowl and they're really good.
I mean, I think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that makes sense. But
He wants Mike
but if the
McDonald.
Seahawks weren't interested, I think he would have ended up on a team
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Well,
So
let's be honest. He's going to be fighting probably for a backup job because
yeah,
Joe Witherspoon and Warrior are 3 starters.
yeah. but health pending, he could see
Yeah.
the field. So
I mean, your fourth corner sees the field regardless. But yeah, like I said, we're kind of like a fourth wide receiver, not often, but yeah, if you need him to, yeah, for sure.
so it's a thing of he'll make the team better, and hopefully he doesn't do anything stupid. And then of course if he's convicted, I think it's
How much we haven't seen how
wash
much
your
of it
hands and
is
it's
either.
over.
I assume
It's
it's
one
not
year. It's 1 year minimum salary.
minimum. Okay, I mean, not gonna burn you if it doesn't work, I guess.
And I'm reading this story. Arnold was accused of orchestrating the kidnapping and beating of 3 men who prosecutors believe he wrongly suspected of stealing $100,000 in cash from him, along with luxury watches and bags. And it's like, that's not great. That's not that's not great. I mean, obviously innocent until proven guilty, but it's a it doesn't sound good on its face, but we'll see where it goes and if he actually sees the field or not. So. Let us know what you think of the Seahawks, the game against Cowboys, Witherspoon's extension. But gentlemen, we got to move on to something a little bit
No,
sadder.
we don't
We
have to.
do, we do, uh, we do. Uh, and that is the Seattle Mariners. Since our last podcast, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. And it it's kind of hit its, I would say its worst peak maybe tonight. After looking at the score, I was in the car leaving personal training with my wife at like 6:30. I turned on the radio and it was 9-0. I'm like, okay, I'm turning this off. Then I am getting ready to do this podcast. I'm putting the show doc together and I look and I see 22-0. I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy. So I'm not gonna go through the results. It's not great. They had a 6-game losing streak. They did win the series against Houston this past weekend. Had a day off and then just absolutely got pooped on by Milwaukee tonight. So, and we're recording this on Tuesday, August 18th, in case you're unaware. So Sean, what have you thought of the Seattle Mariners since our last podcast?
Absolutely awful. It actually hasn't been that bad, Matthew, since we last recorded. Because when we last recorded, they actually were a winning team. Oh no, 2 weeks ago. We recorded 2 weeks ago, not
Yeah.
this last week.
hmm
Yeah, so swept by Tampa, lost to New York. Although you were going to lose to New York, sweeping to Tampa was rough. That one was the one that shouldn't have happened. You should have at least taken one from Tampa. Probably could have taken a couple because you're in every game. Beating Houston was good, and every time this team gives me a little bit of hope, they show a little fight. They're like, okay, this is how you can play. This is how you're supposed to play. They don't always lose 22-0 after that, but they always immediately come up with a mega stinker. Can I just say how impressive it was when I left to run my errands? It was 1-0 going into the fifth. 1-0 going into the fifth. They proceeded to allow 21 runs in 4 innings after I turned the game off. So little old me, was like, I wonder how the Mariners are doing because they were only losing 1-0 when I turned this off. I turn it on, it is 11-0. I then drive back home. They scored 11 more runs in my drive home. That's impressive. That's just one of those Ron Burgundy's. I'm not even mad. That is impressive to me to go on my errands and give up 21 runs while I'm on my errands. That is insanity. Yeah, it's not good. It's just not. This is the most disappointed I've ever been in a Mariners team. And Cal Raleigh is going to set the modern record for worst batting average. As you know, I am not a proponent for batting average, but Cal is on pace to literally have the worst batting average in a qualified hitter in modern history. That's impressive as well. Cal, you're killing me every single day. You just kill me more. Please, please just don't be the worst hitter of baseball. I don't know what else to say. It's awful. It is awful right now. They can't hit and pitch at the same time. They can't do anything. When we were talking right before we went on vacation, Matt, so right before the All-Star break, not quite, but like 2 weeks before the All-Star break, this team was objectively a good team, just getting a little bit unlucky. They're about 500. They're objectively a good team. Their run differential, all the advanced metrics were good. This team's just bad now. They got actively worse in the middle of the season. Like, they're just getting worse. And I don't know how Dan Wilson has a job still. Oh, here is a point I did find out about that while we're off. There is an article by Ryan Divish that basically said that the ownership is the one who hired Dan Wilson. I don't know if you read that, Matt. Ownership
I
hired
did,
Dan
yeah.
Wilson. Like, Stanton hired Dan Wilson. Went over Jerry, which that doesn't bode well for their confidence, I guess, in Jerry to hire a manager if they picked a guy. But also, like, why are you hiring a manager? Like, clearly, a guy who didn't have any experience and just was in the dughouse and was good friends with some people. It's just not working, man. He just can't get it done in the clubhouse because this team is maybe the most talented Mariners team of all time. And it's just to do this on a day we lose 22-0, to do this. So heads have to roll, and they have to roll already, not an assistant hitting coach. Like, this team is, I guess, Matthew, to talk about what we did with Jerry versus Dan, I would say off-season process was fine. In-season results is bad. In-season results on Dan. And my point still stands. If you get to hire one more manager, Jerry, and it doesn't work, you've got to go to. Like, that's it. We can't be middling around here. We got to a step has to be taken at a certain point. But like right now, process good, results bad. This team is better, right? We all agree. This team is better than 8 games below 500 going into the season. And they're 8 games below 500, just lost 22-0. So like my issue is the 25 guys on the field. And that's Dan Wilson's job. And you're just not getting it done, Dan Wilson. I know that it's all bad and everything's bad. Your job's to turn it around at some point. And you haven't turned it around. And I just, it's not working. Whatever you're doing is not working, and we have to move on. We just have to move on. Louis Ribas gave up 7 runs in an inning. My goodness, they just let that kid wear it. I'm so sorry.
Did you see what happened to get their 22 runs?
I saw Julio throw the ball in the crowd. Yeah. It's just the fault of this season is the 25 guys wearing the jersey, and that's where the fault lies. This team is too talented to be this bad. Someone has not done their job in the locker room. Again, we're blaming the manager. Then that obviously it's in the players too. But like whatever is going on in that clubhouse, that's the problem right there. This team is on paper way more talented than this, and they are not getting it done. Period. And it is incredibly, incredibly frustrating. Most hyped I've been in a Mariners season in a long time. The biggest letdown I've ever experienced as a Mariners fan. Because there's people who've been like, in 2011, I thought you're stupid if you thought that. This was the year I was like, we can do this thing. We can make a run. And again, you get to the playoffs, it's a crapshoot. Banking on a World Series is ridiculous. But like, this was like, okay, I feel like we have to get the least lucky in my lifetime that I remember to win the World Series. And this is what the result is. That's it. I don't. Pathetic. Awful.
Kevin?
A couple of things. As I said in our group text, I'm going to say it now. I'm going to call that Dan Wilson's going to be fired in the next 48 hours. If he
okay, my honest question though, Kevin, I don't have an answer for this. Why now? Why not been fired 2 weeks ago?
I mean, he should have been fired 2 weeks ago.
I know. I'm not even disagreeing with you, Kevin. I'm just saying,
it's the exclamation mark of that. You're what, 8 games now under 500, 9 games under 500.
My answer to that question would be, you're still only 3 games back in the wild card. Actually, that's like you can still make it. That's crazy.
That's what I was like. Oh my gosh, they're gonna give me hope. They're 2 games out and they just beat the Astros. They can hang, and then they do this, and I'm like, every time you give me some hope, like.
And also, my dog says that he's gonna be fired.
I'll hire Max to be the manager.
Yeah, Max should be manager. Frankly,
I don't care at this point. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Where do we say? And honestly, like it's just a statement. Like you can just tell with the team too that the vibes are just not good. To where like they got to do something. Like I think fans are going to call for heads, and they got to just make a splash. Essentially, this is, and I know this is kind of weird. I have MBB at the moment, more than any other season.
What? Sorry, I missed that. What?
MBB. I have Mariner blue balls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because essentially
that was what it was going to be.
This is for Mariners fans. This is the season where we've gotten the biggest amount of blue balls from the Mariners ever. Literally, we go to the ALCS and barely lose out. I mean, just go to Game 7, and then you turn into this, like. And it's not by any sort of lack of talent. Like we said, this team has the talent to do it.
I mean, they brought in Brendan Donovan was their offseason move. They got better. And
it did. Yeah. in my opinion, they did get better too. We all
I
kind of
mean,
said that at the
it
beginning.
was unanimous across writers, everybody. Like they're like they got better. They're a good baseball team. They're if not the best, the second best team in the American League, and this is what they do. Like
Division is not really. I mean, sure, yeah, Texas and Astros are hanging in there better than what we thought, but also that's kind of on our fault too.
no, honestly, Kevin, are they better than we thought? They're both basically 500. Like they're both just kind of not very good baseball teams.
Well,
Also,
they're hanging in there at least. Like
but
we,
I thought the Astros would be I thought the Astros would be better than this. Honestly, they're 500. I thought they'd be more better than 500. I thought the Rangers would be about 500, which is what they are. But like we thought this is kind of who they both teams were. We're the teams disappointing is what we are doing.
it's it's really not good. Like Cal Raleigh at this point, like honestly, just throw me in as catcher, and I'll do better. I mean, I'll suck. Well, I'll suck at catching, but at hitting, I will guarantee my OPS or at least like my on base percentage will be better than
There's
Cal
no way.
Raleigh.
There's no way.
Because I'm not
They're pumping fastballs down the plate when they see you take that. Get up there. They're gonna dare you to hit that sucker.
Kevin's just gonna like put his bat out there like this.
Yeah,
Just
Kevin,
like,
just stick an elbow.
yeah.
Just, you have 1,000. You'll have 1,000. You'll have 1,000 on base because you'll stick an elbow out and your elbow will explode into
Yes.
surgery. But you'll get on base one out of one time.
I'll bunt the shit out of that stuff.
You're not making contact when they throw 90 in, Kevin. There's no way in hell.
But seriously, like honestly, like Cal just needs to stand there. Just stand there and don't even swing. Like at this
I
point,
actually
like
was talking to my friend early in the season. I noticed this. I was like, they're not giving him anything to hit. It is all there, and he keeps getting himself out. And then he walked like 2 or 3 times that one day, and they threw him like 4 strikes the whole day. And I yelled it to my friend. I was like, he just needs to stop swinging, and he will get on base. They will give. He is the one getting himself out. That's the frustrating part. He's getting himself out. Stop swinging and try to make something happen. Let them put you on first. They're scared of you. They're making you get out, and you just keep swinging at everything.
everything. Stop. Why Cal? It's in his own head. Like honestly, I didn't think the sports psychology of it because like I knew there would be a little bit with it. It happens with a lot of people. I've seen it over time, especially with a lot of great seasons. Unless they're just built for it, which some people are, to where like they just
you never know if you're built for it until you do it again. Yeah, it's hard to know.
Well,
yeah.
And it's just the pressure of just like, oh shit, I just hit 60 home runs and was almost MVP. I should have probably been MVP, but now I got to try to do it again, and then oh crap, and then like when you start sucking and then sucking and then sucking, and then you're like, I got to turn it around, and then you can't because then you're putting more pressure on yourself. It's kind of like what Julio did, like the first second-ish year when he got here, when he had to be the thing, and then he was just sucking at the plate because he's like, I gotta be I have to be the franchise because he's like, I'm because nobody else is doing it type of deal. But even to the more weird nth degree because of what the season he had last year, and it's just like, Cal, like I need you to just clear your mind and just play ball. Like holy, like he's way overthinking it completely. Like someone just needs to come up and just like smack him in the back of the head and be like, wake the fuck up.
If it was just that easy, I'm sure he would have done it at this point. I think he just needs the offseason. It needs to get here so bad for him. It's just he needs to hit a restart. Like
that, honestly, I think he needs a sports psychologist too. Like
they probably have one. The issue is just going to be is like,
well, get him a different one.
Go phantom IL. Like just go away for a while.
Yeah, like honestly, break like just have.
We tried that already. He basically did that already.
Go away. Like Johnny.
Oh yeah.
I never would have thought Johnny, the backup catcher, would have been.
Play Johnny and then whoever the hell's in Tacoma right now.
Honestly, the craziest part is like think about. I'm gonna say a sentence. It's gonna seem crazy, but it's true. If Cal Raleigh never played baseball this year and just Mitch Garver played, the Mariners would be in the playoffs position right now. That is insane. Like, that's insane. Cal Raleigh's OPS plus is 64. Mitch Garver's was 90. 30% better hitter than Cal Raleigh. If you told me 30% more, like just bases loaded, things like that, they score more runs, they'd probably win 3 more games, especially early in that season when they were losing like really close games. Like, they're probably in the playoffs right now if Mitch Garver just plays every day and not Cal Raleigh. A year after he was like in the conversation for MVP.
Imagine if we kept Ty France too.
It doesn't work that way though. Ty France was going to do that in Seattle. Ty France had a chance to do that in Seattle. Ty France didn't do that in Seattle. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just off years, but yeah.
But like, it's harder to hit in Seattle. Like, I get that, and people have to understand that. Like, it's not. He's just not going to do that in Seattle. Like, he could have been better. But again, like, Josh Naylor is better than Ty France. Like, but what's
Oh
happening?
yeah,
Right
I
now?
agree. I agree. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but like, what? Ty France hasn't had an above 700 OPS since 2022.
I
He has
know.
he has 870 now. Like, what is happening at 31? Like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna be the best I've ever been at 31.
Some
And
people
it's just
figured
like,
it out. Edwin Encarnacion. It took him until he's
well,
29.
actually, he was his best year was 26 in Seattle. He was a better player in Seattle at 26. But like, he hasn't been that guy for years, and he's been on one, two, three, four, five, six other teams. Couldn't fix him, and it's just like, boom, here you go. I guess you figured it out now. But
Sometimes
again,
it
like,
takes different years and coaches.
it's 300 at bats. Like, honestly, he's probably going to regress to the 600 hitter he was before this, 600 OPS hitter before this. Like, that's just probably what's going to happen. But I mean,
It's but yeah, overall, Mariners, the season's over. I'm just gonna say it's over.
I mean, yeah.
Like you essentially, unless they go on a crazy winning streak, like I'm talking like what Red Sox did type
But
deal.
they don't even have to, Kevin. They're 3 games out right now. They're
I
not like
know.
married. Like,
I know and that like we're lucky to even be in that position.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
dumb.
absolutely, yeah.
incredibly lucky.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I don't even think we deserve to go to the playoffs with how crappy we're doing right now. Like,
I mean, there's crappy teams that go to playoffs every year. So, like, I mean,
You could say that about
Yeah.
most of the American
why don't
League,
we,
honestly.
Kevin? Why don't we get to be one of the crappy teams that ever goes to the playoffs? I want to be a crappy team. The Bears have to fight and claw and be great to just make the playoffs.
and then who knows? Maybe if we get to the playoffs, we like spark a fire and pull like a national.
The Angels were terrible and had some stupid rally monkey and won the whole thing and beat Barry Bonds when he was like in his prime. Like, how does that even make sense? It happens all the time. The
True.
Rangers, when they
Yeah,
won their
I was about to say the
they were
Rangers.
terrible. They were a terrible baseball team, and they was like, we got hot. Our 2 crappy pitchers are suddenly super good, and that was it.
I would love to
Like,
be
That's
both
like
of
the
those.
only
I would
one
love to be both.
redeeming grace right now that I'm kind of
And
hoping
then they
for.
played the Diamondbacks, who were also terrible in the World Series. And they're like, here we go. Just like, it's whatever. Like, you know, it happens sometimes. Why can't we be one of those teams?
It's kind of like the only redeeming thing I'm kind of hoping for is that we have like those
So
seasons.
we earn this. We deserve to be crap and then finally win when we couldn't win at 116 games. We're going to win when we're below 500, make the playoffs. That's going to be the righteousness of baseball full circle.
But honestly,
We
like
can
I
only
said,
hope.
in my opinion, if it's going to happen, it has to happen without Dan Wilson.
I can't disagree. I mean, I can't disagree.
He doesn't have the formula to turn this around. So like, get somebody, get Bobo the Clown to be freaking skipper. I don't give a crap. Like, you just have to find somebody else because Dan can't do it. Bring in Ichiro, I don't care. Bring in Ken Griffey Jr., I don't care. Like I said, bring in the Pope, bring in Barack Obama. I really don't give a crap who the skipper is.
Obama would be the White Sox manager and the Pope.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way both those
I don't think Obama would want to take that job. I think he'd probably decline. I think he'd be like, "No, I don't need to do
They're in the
that."
playoffs. They're the number 2 seed right now. Which is
No, I meant
insane
coach
to
the
think.
Mariners, not the White Sox.
Oh no, but he would coach the White Sox. Heartbeat, I bet.
Probably, yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
Fuck
But
it.
I could literally see them going like Ichiro or Griffey.
but I don't want to do that because that's what got us
Well,
in this crappy mess in the first place. I want someone who actually knows how to control that locker room.
I fully agree, but it sounds like Stanton and the ownership are playing we're stupid game.
I mean, at the end of the day, if that's going to be the case, then we're effed.
But,
Like,
but no,
honestly,
I'm saying
we're effed.
just for the rest of the season.
I know,
'Cause
but like if we do the rest of the season, who's to say they just don't hire another guy like that and go over Jerry's head again? And then if they're just going to keep picking the manager, we're screwed as an organization.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's
I'm
a
not
terrible
arguing
place
with
to be.
But it's just like if there is a shot essentially of them doing what Texas did, 2 years ago, 3 years ago,
3 or something like that. I don't remember how long ago it was. Oh yeah, 3 years ago
It was
because the
3, yeah.
Dodgers won twice. Yeah.
you have to get rid of Dan. It's just that simple. Like Dan has no form of a part of this equation.
God, Cal, if you could
So
just be Mitch Garver.
here's the thing. It for me, it's just a weird dichotomy right now because like they're not like out of it. Like they could still do it, but I have no belief in that happening. That's the thing. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just going to continue to get worse,
The,
and I think they're
the
just
Bu-
going to end very sadly. Or the more likely scenario, classic Mariners would be we go get hot and it's too late, and
and
then
we
we
lose by
come up
one
just
game or
yeah,
something like that.
exactly.
Which I said like a week ago to in a group text. The issue is like, and the part
So
is the metrics see it too. Out of the 7 teams to make the playoffs, because 7 teams make the playoffs, right? Or six,
Six.
six,
six.
three division
The
winners, three
Mariners are
wild card.
still top six in playoff odds in the American League because everyone's like, yeah, they're clearly the best team of those wild card teams.
But
And I'm like,
I
I don't disagree. That's what gives me the worst. That's what makes it worse because I'm like, you're the best team. Like to Kevin's point, I just want to shake them all. Be like, you're the best team. Figure it out. Like,
but here's the thing. I think you have to do something. You
yeah,
have to do something.
especially
And
after
if they don't
today.
do
Just
and if they don't do anything, that is an indictment on the entire organization as a whole. Like you can't look at a 22 to nothing loss and do nothing and do nothing. So something needs to be done. I think the obvious thing is Dan's going to get fired.
but
Who who who
the issue
replaces him?
comes.
I don't know. I don't
The
know.
issue
They're just
comes
going to
if
promote some
if
dude in the
owner
clubhouse, I
if
assume.
ownership says no, then no is the answer. Like,
Who is the assistant coach?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Would they
Is
do
it
like Manny Acta or something? Like
Manny
I don't
Acta? Is he
I
the
don't know.
assistant?
Like
But the issue
it's
is like we already said it. Like the ownership picked Dan Wilson. If Jerry's like, I'm going to fire Dan Wilson, ownership's going to be like, no. If it's their guy, like that's the problem. Like,
Well, like
what's going to
ownership has
change?
to realize, has to take a look at like the writing on the fucking wall.
Kevin, the ownership's having to realize a lot of stuff over the years, and they haven't realized it. Like, just sign a good player in the offseason, open up the checkbook, and they're like, no. So, like, waiting on ownership to do the right thing at this point has not worked out. So,
I think like looking at the season, it's just an entire organizational failure. You could point at every single aspect and say this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work. So at this point, to me, it's the players in the field are literally playing for their jobs. Like, show me you want to be here. Show me you want to be here next season. I think there's probably three guys who are probably locks because of the big contracts: Julio, Josh, and Cal. Even though Cal's been terrible, now Cal will probably be a conversation if it does this again next year. I think everyone else on the team sh
Cole Young
sh
has been awesome. Cole Young's
show
been
me
spectacular.
something. Show me something. Yeah, fair
Cole
enough.
Young's
like
been
showing you
Cole
something.
Young's been
Okay,
great all year. Yeah.
fair
And
enough. Fair enough.
Cole, I get what you're saying though, Matthew.
It,
Cole
it,
Young. So that's the point here. Cole Young's been really good. Canzone's been really good. Brandon Donovan, when playing, has been really good. It's the guys you paid money to. The three you just mentioned are the three killing this team. The three you just mentioned, the ones that you know will
yeah,
be here,
yeah.
it's their fault.
And it's an absolute gut check for them too, because again, like we talked about last episode, you get a pass because of last year. That's
I,
basically the only reason you get a pass. And
they called
so,
up Brock Rotten, and his OPS is 890 since he's been up. And the Mariners have been bad since he's been up. It's not even the guys they're calling up. It's like he's been really good. He's been really good. It's the guys you paid. It's the three you said have guaranteed jobs are the three killing this team.
and Dan is probably going to be a fall guy. Fair enough. Um, I really don't think Dan is the biggest problem. It's because Dan's really just a vibes guy, and if if a vibes guy is what you need, then you need to go find another vibes guy. And if it's ownership, if it's Jerry, I don't care who it is, you got to find a better vibes guy.
We
So
just circled it again. It's those three guys' fault in the clubhouse. It's those three guys' fault. I just told you everybody else
yeah,
on the roster has been really good. Those
yeah,
three have not done their job,
yeah. But
and that's a third of
this
the lineup.
this
That's a
is
big part of the lineup.
this is where you're at right now. Now you can go on a run and still do something. That's the crazy part. Like in a normal season, you're 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 done. Like Kevin said. And honestly, I think Kevin's probably right. The season's probably over. Like
Probably, yeah.
but with that last like sliver that you have what 60, 110, 126. You have what 40 games left or something like that.
Yeah, they still have a month and a half left
There's
to
an
play.
opportunity to do something. The AL West is garbage. You could be the best
You're playing.
garbage.
You're
You could
playing
be
for
the best
the wild.
garbage.
You're going for the wild card first.
Yeah, yeah.
Wild card.
Fine.
And then
Wild
you
card
can go
first.
for-
But
AL West is also
the way
garbage. So
OS
right after
is
you,
horrible.
yeah.
So it's like there's still within reach. So at this point, I go back to the analogy that Sean and I know better than Kevin, but it's like when you're down 3-0 in hockey, you do something that you mix up the lines, you change the goalie, you get in a fight, you do something. And there was one point where I've never seen more fire in my entire life out of Dan Wilson than when he was arguing with the ump and he finally got thrown out. Like I thought maybe that might be a turning point, and then it wasn't a turning point. But like there needs
to
to
like
be
20
something.
turning
Like
points.
like
They've had 20 of them.
like somebody's got to do something to get them out of this funk. And like Kevin said, it's definitely a psychological thing because they keep sinking deeper and deeper. And it's like in the replacements that Footsteps Falco said, like you keep trying to get out of those quicksand, you keep going deeper and that's exactly what this team is doing right now. So it's just they're not having fun. They're not enjoying. Last year they were having a great time. They were all having a great time on the field. This year they look like they're prisoners out there playing baseball. Like they would probably end the season right now if they could. Like it just doesn't look like they want to be there. And it's you know, you guys are paid to play baseball, so it's kind of a thing of like somebody has to show something because like if you go into the off season and it just keeps going this way, like look, I like Julio, I like Josh, and I like Cal. But all options can be on the table if it continues to go like this. Like I don't see how you can just say, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. Cole Young's played well, all these guys. But I don't see how you can say that any player on this team at this point has earned their spot next year. It's just it's like, and Dan hasn't earned his managerial job. Jerry hasn't earned his GM job. The owners suck, and that's nothing we can do about that. So, like, there needs to be something done right now to see if there's anything that can be done for the season. And if it continues to go bad, then we can have that conversation in the offseason.
What's the
right
thing
now,
that needs to be done other than fire Dan Wilson?
Me personally, I'm bringing up some kids that have some promise. Like some of these top prospects. Like bring some kids up. Like do something.
Who are you? Okay, that's the problem. Where are you playing them? Okay, Morales, where are you playing him? Or Miguel Arroyo, where are you playing him? Infielder, where are you playing him?
Third?
Over the guy who I just told, what's his name? Brandon Donovan, who's been really good?
Yeah, why not? Who cares?
He's not your problem. You just replaced him.
Who cares? There's something wrong. Do something different.
Matthew, you replaced one of the good players for a guy you don't know is good.
Okay, do nothing different then. Like, what do you want to do?
The issue is your good players need to play better, Matthew. That's simply what it is.
Okay,
you're
that's
trying to make the issue.
Sean, that's great. What do you want to actually do instead of just like play
You're gonna
better?
fire Dan Wilson and hope your three guys you paid a lot of money to figure it out. That's the answer. The other six are doing their job.
That's a sucky answer, but
what's the problem, Matthew? So your solution is get worse.
It's going well. What?
But so that's what I'm saying. You want to make the problem
that's the
worse?
Weirdest question. Like, okay, like.
So Matthew, if I tell you
the ship is sinking. Like, what do you think?
Okay, but like, so if I tell you the Seahawks are doing really bad next year, and you're like, get rid of JSN, I'm like, he's the one guy who in the wide receiver room who's good. So you're fire JSN off the ship.
I'm not saying fire JSN off the ship. I'm saying mix up the lineup a little bit. Do something.
Okay, what you say is send Cal Raleigh down is the option, Matthew.
Then fine. Okay, that's a real solution then. If the three guys are pumped to do it, then do it.
Of the players who are playing well.
Fine, then do it.
Ladies. Okay, so Matthew, to put it in perspective, Matthew, your engine is making sounds, and it's your car's kind of acting up. You're essentially saying, with your engine making sounds, let's just change the tires and everything's good.
No, that's not what I'm saying. This is not an engine issue. This is an entire car. The car is literally failing.
We
and you need to go in and fix the engine somehow to get the car running
exactly
the way it should be, right?
But we know what the engine is, though.
Cal, Josh, and Julio.
So send those guys down then. Fine.
You just got to figure out what's wrong with the engine and fix it.
Because the windshield,
that's so much easier said than done. I think maybe a break is send them down. fine. I'm fine with that. Either of you got an issue with that, actually?
I would say possibly you could do it with Cal.
Cal's the one you send down. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cal doesn't need to be here right now.
Yeah.
Objectively, he's hurting this team. He's a negative WAR player. He does not need to be here.
Because sitting there and just continuing to play them and hope it works
You
doesn't.
you
I don't think
fire
it's gonna
Dan
work.
Wilson.
Like it's not gonna
you
work.
fire Dan Wilson and send Cal down.
Yes.
That's what you do.
That's your best
All right,
your best
fine.
course of action.
Fine.
but like
And you start Johnny
bringing
every
up
day.
like as Sean mentioned, like bringing up Arroyo and then you don't play Brandon Donovan. That does nothing. Like
Brandon Donovan has a 120
Yeah.
WRC plus. He's an above average hitter, and you just replace him for a 20-year-old who you don't know if he's good or not, who probably won't be good. Like, you can't get rid of your good hitters in a lineup you're not hitting enough.
Yeah.
You have to get rid of the bad hitters.
we essentially know what the problem is. We just have to figure out the way to fix it versus like essentially touching what's been good. We know
The
what's
problem is the other option is like call up Laz, who plays left field, who Randy Rosarina is your best baseball player.
Yeah.
You can't play Laz either. So it's got to be send Cal down.
Laz can
I mean,
play right.
I
he has
could,
played
but
right before.
I don't
Right,
care.
but right now is being taken by Dominic Canzone, who's your second best hitter. You can't bench Dominic Canzone. Those are the two keeping you afloat right now.
Well, one can play DH. Just
I guess if you
Yeah.
want to just get rid, you
like-
could get rid of well, who did you just?
I
pick
think
up?
small changes are not going to work. So I like the Cal send down and fire Dan. I'm fine with that. That sounds good.
Who's the guy you just called up? Ward, right? Or you traded for Ward, right?
Yeah, you
the
traded for
guy
Ward.
that
Yeah, that's the one who's Taylor Ward's DHing right now and has not been good. But I mean, he's played here like what 6 games or something
All right.
like that. So
We're running out of time here. Let us know what you think of the Mariners. I'm Master B. Sean's Nasty 22. Kevin is Emerald Bowler on Blue Sky. We will be off next week. Kevin will be away from Mariners baseball. Hopefully, he doesn't have to hear any of it in the Caribbean.
Time out real quick. Me and Kevin are going to the Aqua Sox game on Thursday, right, Kevin?
Ooh.
Yes, that is true.
We will report live.
Oh,
about
I'm
the
going to
Aqua-
the Cubs Mariners on Saturday, so we'll have that too. So
Oh gosh, RIP.
yeah, at least it's 4:15. I'm not going to be there too late probably. So get a ferry boat with a good food in it. So all right, well, we will be off next week. Hopefully back the week after. We'll see where the Seahawks are at. We'll see where the Mariners are at. And with that, we'll see you next time on Washington East to West Sports. Bring back our Sonics.